Hello everyone. Welcome to Programming Fundamental using C lecture. In this lecture, I will discuss various concepts which are prerequisite for C programming as computer languages, its generations, evolutions, its types, its advantages and disadvantages. As we know that computer hardware is the bare computing machine that can work at extremely fast rate. It works on electric pulses, either zeros or ones. However, it cannot work on its own in the sense that its every operation has to be expressed in the form of a computer instructions written in a programming language. A programming language can be defined uh, as a language used for expressing a set of computers of necessary symbols, characters, and grammar rules which allow programmers to communicate with computer. Almost 70 years back, Fortran, a computer language, was developed in mid 1950. Nowadays, there are hundreds of programming languages available in the market. Nevertheless, only a small number of them are used by the programmers. For examples, BASIC, Fortran, C, C++, Java, ADA, Lisp, Prolog, etc. are very powerful computer languages. The programming languages can be divided into basically two major categories, that is low level language and high level language. The low level languages can be further divided into machine languages and assembly language. The high level language, on the other hand, can be categorized in variety of ways. In one sense, the high level languages can be divided into problem oriented and procedure oriented. Now first I will discuss about low level programming language. Since the computer hardware works at binary level, zeros and ones, it can only understand binary based languages. The binary based language is also machine language because it is close to the electronic machine, that is the computer, and instructions written in this language is simply a string of binary digits. It is incomprehensible and very difficult to work with. However, some programmers and operators are able to interpret these instructions. A little development saw the introduction of assembly language in early 1950. The assembly languages were developed in order to reduce the difficulty in writing machine language program. The major difference between machine language and its corresponding assembly language lies in the manner in which both the languages refer to memory location. The assembly language and the machine language work with symbolic and absolute memory addresses respectively. In fact, there is one-to-one correspondence between assembly language and machine language, in the sense that for every binary code of machine language, there is an equivalent symbols. Symbols are, you can say, mnemonic in assembly language. So the task of programmer becomes very easy, because now he or she can work with comprehensible symbols instead of incomprehensible binary numbers. In simple words, we can say that an assembly language is a convenient form of machine language. An assembly language program, however, cannot be directly executed on a computer, such as because a computer can run only machine language program. Therefore, some mechanism is required to convert symbols instructions into binary form suitable for execution on the computer. An assembler does this job for the programmer. It converts the symbolic program into its equivalent machine program. It also gives appropriate error messages and other diagnostics information needed by the programmer for program development. It may be noted here that the machine language of one type of machine is altogether different from the machine language of other type of machines. For example, the machine language of Intel based machine is different from that of Motorola-based machines. Therefore, assembly language are also different for different machines. Thus, a program written in assembly language is machine dependent and will not run on different machines. From the above discussion, it is clear that both machines and assembly language both are machine dependent and closed to machine. Therefore, these languages are termed as low level languages. Now we'll discuss advantages and disadvantages of assembly language. The advantages of assembly language are: it is more convenient than machine language. Programmers works with symbols and do not bother about the absolute operational codes and addresses of memory locations available in the computer system. The assembler can automatically detect the grammatical errors in the program for the programmers. There are some limitations also of assembly language. Even though the assembly language are better than machine language, but still the programming exercise is quite time consuming and the programs are difficult to understand. The assembly language are machine dependent and therefore for a new machine of different type an entirely new set of instructions has to be learned. The assembly language programmer has to know the detail of the working of the various registers of CPU of the computer system. That is very difficult for programmer. High level languages. As I have discussed that program development in low level languages is a very slow and tedious process. Programming, especially in machine language, is error prone. Therefore, to overcome the limitations of low level languages, the need to develop programming languages that could make use of familiar English-like words became necessary. Consequently, in mid-1950, the languages like Fortran and COBOL came into existence. These languages are high-level languages and use symbols and words similar to English, just like English language. Moreover, these are designed to be machine independent. That is, a program written in such a language can usually run on computers of different types, different size and manufacturers. Therefore, a program written in a high-level language does not require any alteration when a new computer is installed, and the programmer need not learn a new language for each new installation. Procedural programming languages. A procedure-oriented language is normally computer-independent. It is designed to help the programmer in the accurate description of procedures, logic of a problem in the form of program. It is the responsibility of the programmer to express the logic of the problem into various procedures of the program. A procedure-oriented language must provide the descriptions for what is to be handled, what operations and checks to be performed, and where to be begin and where to stop. And in procedural programming, programs is divided into small parts called functions. Procedural programming follow a top-down approach. We'll discuss later. And there are no access specifier in procedural programming. Procedural programming does not have any proper way for hiding data. Means you cannot abstract data. And in procedural programming, functions is more important than data because functions make the C programs modular. Advantages of procedural programming. These are easier to learn than low-level languages. It required less time to write. They provide better documentation. Very easy to maintain the program. And they are not machine-oriented. They are machine-independent. Now, advantages and limitations of high-level language. Machine independent. High-level languages are machine independent in the sense that a program written in high-level language can be used on different computer systems. Ease of learning. Since high-level languages are English-like, it is very easy to learn them. At the same time, the programmer need not to learn about the hardware detail of the computer system. Understandable program. The high-level language program are more understandable as compared to program written in low-level language. Low programming cost. Since it is easier to write a program in high-level languages, the productivity of a programmer increase by manifold. The increase in productivity reduces the overall programming cost. Easier to maintain. As compared to a low-level language, the program written in high-level language can be easily modified because such programs are easier to understand. Therefore, software maintenance becomes very easy. Less errors. As compared to low-level languages, the program written in high-level language is less error-prone. And there are some limitations of high-level languages. The high-level languages are less efficient as far as computation time is concerned because high-level language require translator. So the program execution of high-level language is slower as compared to low-level languages. Moreover, the programmer cannot completely harness the total power available at hardware level. Programming language translation process. Since a high-level language such as Fortran, COBOL, Pascal, C is English-like, it requires a translator that can translate program written in high-level language into the machine language. The translator is a program that translates user's program written in one language, that is source code, to another that is target. A program written in high-level language is known as source program. The translator takes the source code and converts it into machine codes. The machine codes is also known as object codes. The object code is linked by a linker to create a machine executable program, as you can see the figure in slide. The source program and executable programs are simply two different forms of the same thing. It may be noted here that the source program does not run in the computer, but the translated executable copy of the program runs in the computer. A compiler is a system program which translates a program written in high-level language into its equivalent program in low-level language, such as assembly language or machine languages. Examples of these languages like Pascal compiler, C compiler, C++ compiler. Interpreter. An interpreter is different from a compiler in the sense that it does not translate but interpret the source language and executes it. It can be defined just like the program execution environment. The operations you can see in the slide. The exact mechanism of interpreter varies from implementation to implementation. One method is that the interpreter takes a program in language, a particular language that is X, as input and examine each instructions. The examined instructions is decoded and executed through the equivalent sequence of machine code written in various modules of the interpreter program. Thus, no translations take place and the presence of interpreter is necessary each time a program is to be executed. For example, GW Basic is an interpreter, Q Basic is a contains compiler. Here it be noted that the job of an assembler is much simpler than the compiler. Where compiler translates the high-level language to machine language, the assembler simply transcript the assembly language program into the machine language. And we can also compare the functionality of compiler and interpreter. There is a major difference between them, as compilers can hold program at once and display all the errors at the particular time. User have to correct all the error, then again it compile program. But in case of interpreter scan program line by line, and in case of any error any line, first user have to correct it and then execute it, then execute next line. And the most important concept involved in this functionality, that is loaders and linkers. When the source program is assembled or compiled, the resultant machine code is produced on a physical media such as hard disk, floppy disk. If the translated program is using various functions and procedures, then before the program can be executed, all the related modules like functions or procedures, must be located and accurately linked together. The system program which capable of combining such program modules or library functions into a single machine language program is known as linker. When a program is required for execution, then it must be moved from magnetic storage to the main memory of the computer. The system program responsible for this activity is termed as a loader. The functions of loader and linker are often combined in the form of sometimes it is called linking loader. Now I will discuss the history of C language. In 1971, Dennis Ritchie, a system programmer from Bell Laboratories, developed a powerful language called C. In fact, it was the successor of B, a language earlier developed by Ken Thompson at Bell Laboratories for PDP-7 computers. B was found to be inadequate for writing large programs such as an operating system. C was so powerful that it was used to write Unix operating system, a large and complex operating system. Even compiler of C was written in C language. In fact, it is a high-level language that not only supports the necessary data types and data structures needed by a normal programmer, but it can also access the computer hardware through especially designed declaration and functions. It is popular because of the various popular characteristics, just like a small size, wide use of functions and function calls, loose typing, and bitwise low-level programming supports, structured language, and wide use of pointers to access data structure and physical memory of the system. These characteristics, the C programs are small and efficient. It can be compiled on a variety of computers. Since C has both high-level and low-level features, it is often called as middle-level language. Turbo C, it is a software integrated development environment. We can call Turbo C. This window-oriented environment has the various components like user configure, editor, project-oriented make process, fast linker, and extremely fast C compiler. The Turbo C supports the development of interrupt service routines and memory resident programmers. Therefore, it is an excellent programming environment for system programming. C is middle-level language. C stands in between these two categories since it was designed to have both a relatively good programming efficiency as compared to machine-oriented language, a relatively good machine efficiency as compared to problem-oriented languages. That's why it is called a middle-level language. Now, characteristics of C language, as it is a very efficient language, and there are various characteristics of C languages. Like C is a general purpose programming language. C is a structured programming language. It has rich set of operators. It provides compact representation for expressions. It allows manipulation of internal processor registers. And C has no rigid format, means any number of statements can be typed in a single line. Any C program can run on different machines with little or no modification. You can say it is called portability of the program. And C supports a rich set of data types. C language is very less number of reserved words. It supports pointer arithmetics and pointer manipulations, and C has ability to extend itself by adding function to its library. Structure of C program. C program structure, as you can see in the slide. First line is documentation and comment section. Second one is link section, global declaration section, then main function. Then in main function there are two subsections: local declaration section and statements. And at last of the structure is a particular section, that is subprogram section. Now I will explain you in brief each sections. First section is comment section. Comments are useful for documentation. Comments are optional and not necessary in the program. It is used to understand the flow of program actually. There are some kind of statements which are placed between the delimiters, like I will explain you in program in further classes. That is delimiters like /* and star and /. The compiler does not execute these commands. Means the documentation makes the program more understandable. Next section is link section. C programs depend upon some header files for function definition that are used in program. The header files should be included using #include directive. We'll see later. For example, #include in I will write in angle bracket stdio.h, means in link section the header files followed by #include directives. stdio.h file included, which have all the definitions and prototype of functions defined in the file, which are available in the program, must be available in the current program. This file also compiled with original program also. In link section we will include number of header files as per our requirement, like stdio.h and connew.h. We'll further explain in the class. Next section is global declaration section. In this section, user declares some variables which are used globally by all the functions defined in the program. Suppose you have created a variable that is global, then whatever functions you create in the program, that variable can be accessed by each and every function. These variables known as global variables. These variables must be declared outside of all the functions. Next function is main function. Every program written in C language must contain main function. The function main is the starting point of every C program. The program execution starts with the opening brace, as you can see, opening brace before local declaration section, and ends with the closing brace also. Between these two braces we have to declare the various variables. We have to initialize the various variables, means you have to assign value to the particular variables, and you also write executable parts between the two curly braces. Declaration part section, we declare the variables and initialize the variables. We'll see in example. The initialization means providing an initial value to the variable. For example, suppose there is a variable a and you are going to assign a value to a, that is 10. Then you write a equals to 10. Means ki, the value 10 is assigned to variable a. And the statements part, or you can say executable part. This part contains a set of statement or a single statements which are enclosed between the braces. And the last section of the program structure is user defined section. The functions defined by the users are called user defined functions. It is optional part, means it does not necessary in each program. Now I will explain you how to compile and execute C program. You just double click on Turbo C icon on desktop. It will open text editor window. In that editor window that opens open new file, type the program and save the program as file name with extension .c. And to compile, there are some shortcuts: Alt F9 to compile the program and Control F9 to execute the program. After executing the program, you will see the result. Now you can see here a simple program of C. The first line is written as a comment: write a program to print a message. Then next line is hash include stdio.h. Hash include is a preprocessor directive. I will discuss further in the lecture. And stdio.h means standard input output. .h means header files. Next header files is conio, that is console input output .h. It is also kind of header files. Here the next line is void main. Next printf, a message is written here, C programming, and the last function, last statement is written here, getcs. Then I will show you by executing a program how this program we can write and we can execute it. First I will open Turbo C++. Turbo C++ must install your on your computer. Click Start Turbo C++. Turbo C++ is integrated development environment. It consists of two parts. Number one, basically editor where you can write your program, and second one is compiler by which you can compile your written program. Now I will open first program, file, click on file, then click on new, and this is editor where you can write your program. I will start here writing the program. First I will put here comments by double slash. You can write here anything, the program to print any message. Now this statement cannot be compiled by the compiler because it is followed by double forward slash, that is comment. Now just start from preprocessor directive, that is hash include. I include the header files with this directive, hash include stdio.h. This is standard input output .h file. That is what are standard input output devices. That is keyboard is a standard input device, and your screen or monitor screen is standard output device. And the definition of keyboard and your standard output device, that is my monitor, are defined under the standard input output .h file. Next file I will include here has include conio.h. Conio.h, this is optional. I will explain you why I am including these files. Now start from main function. Main. that is the starting point of the program. Open the brace and you just write here the message. I want to print the message with the help of printf function. Printf, you can write here message. Whatever you will write here, it will print on the screen. The first program of C language. First program of C language. This message I want to print here. Just close the brace. Okay. Now close the brace. The program is okay. Now I have to save the file. Just click on the file, and here you have to press on the save. Or you can press F2 also, shortcut. So just press here and provide here appropriate name. Suppose I am giving here first.c. The name of file is first and the extension of the file is .c. Press OK. Now your program is saved as first.c. Now you can first compile. First is to compile the program. Just click here. Otherwise you can press Alt plus F9 to compile program. Just click here. Now there is a warning message prompt here. Warning. Press any key to continue. Function should return value. This is the warning message. Then first I have to suppress this warning message. How we can suppress it? By using void keyword. Void. You just write main followed by void. Void is a keyword which mute the main function. Actually, any function when execute, it will return some values. Then I am going to here mute this. Now the message, warning message suppressed. You can again compile the program. Now you can run the program. Okay. Program successfully executed, but it still not showing the output. To see the output, press Alt plus F5. Alt plus F5. When you press Alt plus F5, you can see the output of your program. But pressing Alt plus F5 is very cumbersome task many times. Then I will use here getCS function. getCS function is used to hold the output on the screen. Now when you execute the program, first I have to save the program at any modification, then compile it. In case of any error, it will display, otherwise it will display success. Now we can execute or run the program by pressing Ctrl plus F9 or run. Now you can see here the output. Here you can see there are two outputs. One output for you have executed the program twice actually. That's why here 2 times output displayed. Now I can see only the current output also by using the CLRSCR function. CLRSCR, that is clear screen function, which is defined under hash include conio.h. Means I have included the conio.h file just to use getCS function and CLRSCR function. If you use CLRSCR and getCS function without including the conio.h, it will not work, because these two functions are defined under conio.h. Now again I will save the program, compile the program and execute the program, run the program. Now you can see the current output of the program. Press any key to return back the program. Now mouse is not working. Now I think you all clear the concept of the first program of C. The first line is command line. Here you can write anything. It is followed by double forward slash, and next two lines are link section. That is, these are the header files I have included here just to perform stdio.h, standard input output.h, that is just to take input from keyboard, standard input device, and to perform various screen functions, console functions. I have included here console input output.h, and the first line is this void main. Void meter the main function, so that warning message suppress from the program when I execute. CLRSCR function just used to the clear screen, and printf message. Printf function is used for printing the output, and the message must be enclosed under the double quotes, and each and every statement ends with the semicolon. Semicolon is used as a terminator of the statements. Get CS function I have used to hold the screen. Okay, then I think that you must have cleared the concept of first program of C, and these are the various components we can see in the slide and its uses. I showed you by using a particular program, by executing it, and descriptions of the program I explained you. The comments about the program should be enclosed within the slash star and star slash, and these codes are for multi-line comments, and I have used the single line comments following by two forward slash. Next, printf function, which is used to print the message on the screen. Then main is the starting point of the program. We have seen here stdio.h. I explained you standard input output functions, and hash include is used to define the library files used in the program. Now we'll further discuss and see the various examples in detail. Now we'll discuss why we use C. Mainly because it produces code that runs nearly as fast as code written in assembly language. Some examples of use of C might be operating system, language compiler, assembler, text editor, print spoolers, network drivers. These are applications and software programs are written in C. We use C language to develop databases. We use C to develop language interpreter, various utilities. These are the various application areas. Means we can, with the help of C programming, we can develop software programs, application software, as well as system softwares. System softwares like operating system. C was initially used for system programming as well as application programming. I told you. A system program forms a portion of the operating system of the computer or its support utilities. Operating systems, interpreters, editors, assembly programs are usually called system programs. The Unix operating system was developed using C, and there are C compilers available for almost all type of PCs. So students, in this lecture I have discussed about the concept of programming languages, different types of programming languages like low level languages, that is machine language and assembly language. Then I have discussed about the high level languages like C, C++. These are the high level languages and its advantages and disadvantages. Then I have discussed about the history of C language and then a structure of a program and its various components I have discussed. And I have written a simple program in Turbo C editor and showed you how to write a program, how to compile the program, and how to execute the program. I also explained the various components of programs and its meaning, the various applications areas of the C languages. And I will discuss the further topics in next lecture.